So here's just your normal, typical American boy meets girl. Boy and girl decides to get married and have a family, love each other, and get married. Boy has a baby daughter. Isn't she beautiful? Here's having some fun. Then comes along brother, little girl and little boy, son and daughter. What a wonderful thing. Here's where family lives. And here's where daddy works at the time of family. And I remember this as a young man being on television. And didn't know that this was going to affect my life.
Now, if you just want to get down to brass tacks, first thing you ought to do is get all these folks who've got these one-way trade agreements that we've negotiated over the years and say, fellas, we'll take the same deal we gave you. And they'll gridlock right at that point because, for example, we've got international competitors who simply could not unload their cars off the ships if they had to comply. You see, if it was a two-way street, just couldn't do it. We have got to stop sending jobs overseas. To those of you in the audience who are business people, pretty simple. If you're paying $12, $13, $14 an hour for factory workers, and you can move your factory south of the border, pay $1 an hour for labor, hire a young 25, that's assuming you've been in business for a long time, you've got a mature workforce. Pay $1 an hour for your labor, have no health care, that's the most expensive single element in making a car, have no environmental controls, no pollution controls, and no retirement, and you don't care about anything but making money, there will be a giant sucking sound going south. So if the people send me to Washington, the first thing I'll do is study that 2,000-page agreement and make sure it's a two-way street. One last point here. I decided I was dumb and didn't understand it, so I called a who's who of the folks who've been around it. And I said, why won't everybody go south? They said, we'll be disruptive. I said, for how long? I finally got them up for 12 to 15 years. And I said, well, how does it stop being disruptive? And that is when their jobs come up from $1 an hour to $6 an hour and ours go down to $6 an hour, then it's leveled again. But in the meantime, you've wrecked the country with these kinds of deals.
You just saw Ross Perot talking about NAFTA before it was signed and before Bill Clinton became president of the United States. Now here we see Bill Clinton is getting ready to sign into law NAFTA, and he knows the consequences of doing that.
Not because of the terms of NAFTA, which basically is a trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada, but because it became a symbolic struggle. In a few moments, I will sign the North American Free Trade Act into law. NAFTA will tear down trade barriers between our three nations. It will create the world's largest trade zone and create 200,000 jobs in this country by 1995 alone.
200,000 jobs, huh? Well, according to what I've read and studied, 70,000 jobs has left the United States and went overseas. Here's some of the furniture factories, and this is what they made that went out of business where I live. That I worked at this one, by the way, and it went out of business, moved to Mexico. This American Drew moved to Mexico. Here's Golden Needles. They sold out to Ansel Pro and moved to Mexico. Here's Ithaca, as a hosiery plant, moved to Mexico. And here's another one, Key City. And this is what the cause of this is. This is what this causes. Friends and neighbors losing their homes and losing their jobs and their lives. And I've seen people that I knew of and people I know lose their places. Two things important to Hillary: the Clinton Foundation and herself. For sure. And see, she's laughing at us. She's laughing. You think they care that blue-collar workers like me and you loses our jobs and our homes? No, they don't care. You don't believe me? I tell you what you do. Go into Walmart and look around and see how long it takes you to find something that's made in the United States of America. Just time yourself. See how long it takes you. Why is that? Well, it's because American factories have moved out of here and we're buying everything from China. It's not hard to figure out, thanks to the Clintons.
And I have
Your
done
husband signed
a lot.
NAFTA, which was one of the worst things that ever happened
Well,
to the
that's your
manufacturing
opinion.
industry.
That is your
You go to
opinion.
New England, you go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, you go anywhere you want, Secretary Clinton, and you will see devastation where manufacturing is down 30, 40, sometimes 50%. NAFTA is the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere, but certainly ever signed in this country. And now you want to approve Trans-Pacific Partnership. You were totally in favor of it. Then you heard what I was saying, how bad it is, and you said, I can't win that debate. But you know that if you did win, you would approve that, and that will be almost as bad as NAFTA. Nothing will ever top NAFTA.
Does this look like an opinion to you? These are the factories where I lived that were shut down. Thousands of my neighbors and fellow Americans lost their jobs. Opinion, Mrs. Clinton? I think not. Thousands. Our community will never be the same. We've never recovered from this. Look here, foreclosure. America for sale, bought out by the Clintons, sold out to the Clintons. I think here's what I'll vote for.